How to focus is a question that we always ask ourselves, and for good reason as well. We know that if we can learn to have the ability to focus, we can get our work done quicker, get our work done faster, and move on to the next thing more efficiently. I like the way Einstein views time. He thinks, if I don't procrastinate now and I do the work I need to do now, I've got more time later to do the work that I need to do later, essentially creating more time for himself because he isn't procrastinating. Time is a finite factor, and it's one that can define our success in life, as well as a little bit of luck. As Seneca says, it's not that we have a short time to live, but a long time to waste. And so with that said, we know and we understand that we need to stop procrastinating so that we can make the most of our lives. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where we strive to be 1% better than yesterday. So why is this? Why is it that some of us just can't focus and some of us just can't get into the zone of doing the work and that we want to complete, and we waste our time procrastinating, going on our phones and doing stuff which isn't letting us do our work properly and moving on to the next thing? It's frightening really how many of us cannot focus on a certain task for a long period of time and do it effortlessly. In this day and age, it's so easy to get distractions. We go on the bus, we get in the car, we can turn on the radio, listen to music, go on Instagram, go on social media, and all of these things we do when we're bored. We might be in a bus or on a train. We are distracting our brain so we're not bored. And because we keep overstimulating our brain, we're giving ourselves distractions, and that is making our attention span smaller. And so the smaller our attention span towards focusing on certain tasks, the harder it is to focus when we actually want to focus and get work done. So in order to improve our focus, we must understand that there are two different types of focus. We have scattered focus and direct focus. So firstly then, scattered focus. So scattered focus is essentially naming the title. There are many things going on where you're trying to focus on a piece of work. There might be radio in the background, there might be a noise outside, there might be your mum coming into your room, whatever it is. It's distracting you and it's taking a part of the focus from the brain off of your work and onto the other thing. And now sometimes we can't control this and sometimes we can control this. When your brain focuses on another thing other than the work in front of you, it distracts itself and it focuses on the other thing as well. And this is known as focus residue. Naturally, the brain isn't good at focusing on many things at one time. So it's clear that we want to avoid scattered focus. So what is direct focus? Direct focus is what we want to achieve. Direct focus is having your brain power, having all of your energy onto one task with zero distractions, zero things around the workplace, around the environment that can distract you, that can take mental energy from your brain into other things. All of it is directly focused onto the work at hand, and that is what we want to achieve. And now it's very hard in this day and age to do work without any noises or distractions, and sometimes it's out of our control. But it's important we hire the mindset of Greek philosophy and we ask ourselves, what can we control? If we're in a house, we can't control noises down the street, but what we can control is turning off the radio, putting your phone on silent, telling your people in your room, in your house, that you're working, so don't come into my room, and doing these small things and focusing on what we can control to remove distractions from the workplace can help us stay focused. So we know that we can take action to remove distractions, and you probably hear that many times, but what we need to understand as well is that focusing is a skill. It's not something we're born with, and it's not something that we just have. It's something that we have to train. Just like going to the gym and training your biceps for bigger biceps, you've got to do the same with focus. So we got to be asking ourselves, how can we train our ability to focus? So we can do this. We can train our focus by you telling yourself, for the next 10 minutes of this video, you're going to focus. You're going to watch every word that's going to come out of my mouth. And it just doesn't have to be this video, but it can be when you're walking to the shop, when you're doing a piece of work, when you're eating food, you are focusing on that task in front of you with all of your effort, because doing this over time will build your focus span and your ability to focus, because you're training it and you keep going into the zone of focus, and so you're going to be more able to do it more times down the line when you actually need to focus. As well as practicing your focus, embrace boredom. Like I said before, one of the reasons why we're not very good at focusing anymore is because of the distractions and overstimulating the brain. And all the brain wants from focusing, all it wants is distractions. If it's bored, all it craves is overstimulation. So when we're doing work and we're bored and we can't be bothered, we're going to go on our phone to give our brain that overstimulation that it craves. So by embracing boredom and by being bored, you are lowering the usage of social media or going on your phone or stimulating your brain, and so your attention span expands over time because your brain is more bored, so it's less prone to craving that overstimulation. Now obviously that is how we train focus, and that is how we become better, by increasing our attention span. But there is obviously the few tips that I have to mention. Sleeping is very important. We need good sleep to function. Sleeping foundation to our day. So let's start by having a good sleep. And the rest as follows: is exercise, dieting, and hydrating your brain. Giving your brain water and allowing it to function properly. Now these sound like obvious tips, and they are, but we implement these into our day. We start going on 5-minute, 10-minute walks. We start eating healthily. We start drinking more water. We're naturally just going to improve our lives and well-being, as well as focus. Lastly then, the final tip that I want to share with you is create a timetable for yourself. You know, having a timetable, waking up in the morning and know you've got to focus in an hour for half an hour of work. And you know that, so you can visualize yourself focusing before you actually go into that workplace. And so when you are in that workplace, you've better equipped your mind for being able to focus, and so it's easier to go into that state of focus because your brain knows it has to. And just having a timetable allows you to be organized, allows you to work harder and be more efficient with your time, and overall can leave a massive impact on your life. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you've gathered some wisdom from it, understanding focus, understanding that you can train your focus and improve your attention span by avoiding social media and avoiding overstimulating your brain. So let's embrace boredom. Let's be bored. If we're bored and we've got nothing to do, let's embrace it, because the less times we overstimulate our brain, the more chance we're going to expand our attention span, which will allow us to focus on our piece of work. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you into the next video. Peace!